night.
So let's begin our sitting practice by focusing on your posture, where you're connecting with the floor or the chair comfortably, allowing your eyes to close. But the most important thing is that you are comfortable and that your body is supported, with your spine rising easily and naturally from your pelvis up towards the shoulders, feeling even a tug with the breath from the middle of the body. So even though the spine rises toward the pelvis, up towards the shoulders actually drop down and back a little. And the head is rest comfortably with the chin down, giving you a little bit of a double chin. It's a feeling of being planted. And now letting your awareness move from posture to an awareness that you are breathing. And for this sitting practice, we will focus on the breath at abdomen level. So the breath has been there all along. We bring our awareness to it, noticing the slight expansion, the abdomen on the in-breath, and the slight deflation on the out-breath. So simply bringing awareness to the breath. Not needing to change the breath in any way, just allowing the breath to breathe itself as you follow the course of each breath. Bringing full awareness of the in-breath and the out-breath. You may note the qualities of the breath. Is it fast? Is it slow? Deep? Shallow? Is it ragged or smooth? Simply noting each breath. The breath that can only exist in this moment. Without bringing any criticisms or judgments considering the breath. There isn't a correct breath or an incorrect breath. There is simply the breath as it exists. In fact, the breath that anchors us into this moment. And you may notice from time to time that your focus has moved away from the breath. It's got caught up in body sensations or emotions or thoughts. This is not a problem. Each time that you notice that the mind has moved away from the breath, you can simply note where the mind has gone and gently escort it back to the full awareness of the breath. So each time that you notice that the mind has wandered away from the breath, simply bring it back. The mind doesn't like to focus on any one thing for very long. And you will naturally begin to cast around looking for some new thing to focus on, rather than staying with the breath. What we can do is simply notice where the mind goes, and once again come back to the breath. It doesn't matter how many times the mind goes away from the breath. Each time is the same. You simply note where it has gone and come back to the breath. It doesn't matter how far away the mind has gone or how long it's been away from the breath. It's all the same. Simply note where it's gone and come back. The very experience that the mind has moved away from the breath, the experience of noticing that, where it's gone, that in itself is an experience of mindfulness. It is part of the practice. So each time is an opportunity to notice where the mind has gone. The breath has been with us the whole time we've been alive, but despite this, it can only exist in the present moment when we can bring awareness to it. It can act as an anchor for us, bringing us back to the present moment, anytime. So now, if you'd like, just allowing the breath to remain in the background and moving your awareness from a primary focus on the breath to awareness of the body. Just allowing the primary focus to move to the awareness of the body as a whole. So that in the same way that you focus on the body as a whole, sometimes at the end of a body scan, we do that. So just right now, be with the body. The entirety of the body. Just bringing sensory awareness to your body in this moment, however you find it. Just simply being present. And you may notice that a particular intensity may arise that calls to your attention in a particular part of the body. And if so, there are a couple of ways to manage intensity as it arises in the body during sitting practice. We can always bring awareness to the particular part of the body where the intensity arises, whether it's the knees or shoulder or wherever it happens to be. And just bring that same awareness that we bring to the breath, that we brought to the raisin, to that particular part of the body. Be gentle, be curious. What are the qualities of that intensity? What are the characteristics? Simply bringing sensory awareness to whatever we find, without judgment. Just simply exploring, bringing in an attitude of interest, curiosity. Does the intensity remain the same? Does it change? Does it deepen? Lighten? Following it in the present moment. Bringing curiosity to the event. You also have an option, you always have this option, to change positions of the body. And if you decide that you would like to change a position, you can still bring that awareness of intensity to that area of the body. Form an intention to change positions and then remain connected, mindfully aware moment by moment. As each changed positions and as you settle into the new position. We don't have to turn off awareness while changing positions. We can remain connected even while the body is moving, then settling back in once again to the awareness of the body as a whole when settled into the new position. In the same way that the goal is not that the mind never moves from the breath, or that we never change positions, is that these are natural events, and we don't have to leave them out, but we can remain with them as they are a part of the present moment. Noticing body, letting go, noticing thoughts as they arise in the mind from moment to moment. And thoughts could be sounds or breath or experience in the body. They all have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And they give us the opportunity to observe the workings of the mind. So if you would like, you can take some time to watch thoughts. Just simply noticing a thought arise in the mind and observing it. How long it lasts. And now just watching it as it disappears. You might also watch thoughts as if they were clouds floating by in the sky, forming, changing shapes, and then disappearing. And if you notice from time to time that a part of you has moved away from simply observing thoughts to have gotten caught up in a particular thought, you can notice that also, and return to simply observing thoughts. Because sometimes we can get caught up in a thought that we find particularly appealing, daydream, pleasant memory, and we notice that after a while, when we are no longer simply observing thought, but in fact, we are remaining in one. Almost as if it wasn't a thought at all. What was really happening? And on the other hand, we can sometimes get caught up in the thoughts that feel negative, unpleasant memories, worries, stress. And we can also act as if those were really happening, as opposed to simply being events of the mind. But in either case, this gives us the opportunity to mindfully become aware when we've gotten caught up in a particular thought, either positive or negative. And simply note that we have gotten carried away with it, and once again return to the simple observation of the life cycles of thoughts. Now letting go of thoughts, thoughts about thoughts, sounds, body, intensity in the body, and returning once again to our old friend, the breath. And simply bringing awareness to the fact that all this time we have been breathing, but simply bringing full awareness to the in-breath and the out-breath as it exists in this moment. Just being fully present. In the present moment, bringing awareness with your breath to this breath and this breath to the next, as this sitting practice comes to an end.